Grand Rising, good morning, bonjour, buenos dias, bom dia, every language out there. Hope everybody had a good night, is rest up. I haven't dropped the video in, I have no idea how long, probably about 2 months now. I just been focused, just trading, scalping, um, and based off of price action these past few months, it's been beautiful. And I just wanted to go over a couple of names that I love. We have the NQZ23 futures chart up right now with a 2 hour. So I'm gonna make this as brief, as quick as possible, give you guys some levels, just what to focus on, where to look, just key levels, a nice visual. So here we go. So we're looking at the 2 hour here. I made some quick points for levels to watch going into today. We have the H4 14,938 level. That's very important. This is again, remember, this is a 2 hour. That's basically our H4 key resistant level for the day. We have a daily resistant level at 14,995 if we ever get there. Based off this current action in overnight, we have a 69-point move. We bounced off that H4 CPS, which is 14,838. So we want to see what happens here. Technically, we have a lower high based off our 825 low. So I'm going to move over to the 4 hour. Just want to give you just different visuals on different time frames because I just want to go through as many charts as possible. I want to get Apple, I want to get BA. All those charts I basically post, all those tickers I posted last night in a thread that nobody can reply to. So currently, the most important thing that I always look at is inside candles. It's the easiest visual. It's the easiest thing to look at. It's all about range because when you have an inside candle and the bigger the candle on the bigger the time frame, the better the setup. And what I mean by that is when it comes to what this is a 4 hour time frame we have here, right? Check it out. And the most important thing is we have this candle here, that 1300 candle. That is a 160-point range. We are stuck in that range until further notice. So right now we're trading inside that range. So what I usually do here, just mark that range is already marked for me. You have the H4 CP high, you have the H4 CP support. So high would be resistance. So we rejected there, which is 14,938. We'll see what happens going into open. So usually what I do is I'll do a rectangle or I'll do a channel. I like rectangles, Now highlight that area. Let's change that color. A little too bright there. Make it not gray. Not a fan of gray. But I just want to give you guys an idea. Let's go dark gray. Better. Here you go. So another thing I like to do within this candle, I start marking it. You can set alerts. So this candle opened at 14,948. So let's do an alert there. So we're going to create an alert for that candle, for that opening of that candle. And then we're going to create another alert, a single alert. Price crosses above that level. Put that on. Then we're going to do another alert. So the other alert, this is how price works for me. This is where there's no need to watch the markets all day. If we're stuck in a range, it's going to be an inside day, which usually comes after a big range day. So we're stuck in a range until we are broken out of that range again, right? So we have minor upside, minor downside when we're stuck in a range. So we're going to do that closing candle of that, which is 14,849. So we're going to create another single alert. Price courses below. So we're going to do at or below. That's the mark. So now we have two triggers. You can see on the right side, you see an arrow for 14,1950. So this is a 100-point range right now. We're going to be stuck in a 100-point range for the day. Okay, until further notice. This is a 4-hour chart. I usually chart 2 hours when it comes to futures. I just love that. I've been up between 2, 4, 6 a.m. I wake up, I look at futures, and I go right back to sleep. I didn't make the video last night. One, because price action has already started bouncing, so I didn't want to go into it and then okay, here we are. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just get closer to the market and we'll go from there. So here's your 4 hour. Now that we have that range and we have those alerts created, now we're gonna drop this down to that hourly. Now, if you look at the hourly, it just gets more defined because what happens, we have our 1430 SMA. We just crossed the 14 SMA, which is our blue dotted lines. As you guys can see, 30 SMA is our yellow dotted lines. Those gray lines you see are my Celts. My Celts, I like to have them look hidden on my chart because another thing for me is I hate a overcrowded chart of technicals. Okay, so it just, the clearer the chart, the clearer the visual for me. So I made it gray so it's light in the background and I know it's there. And I just have my highlighted visuals for show. I also have other hidden visuals that what I do is I just create support and resistance on those hidden visuals because one, it's something I've been working on for a long time and that's not something I'm ever going to share. As you can see where it says the daily CPS and H4 CPS, those are my hidden visuals. Okay. Now we're looking for a move above that H4 CPS. I mean, H4 CPR actually is 14,938. I want to see a trigger above that for our SMA cross, which is the 30 SMA. So we're just keeping it simple as possible. Okay. And I'm just going to add an extra level, which is actually where that trigger is supposed to be at. So let's just do this. There we go. So that would be 14,948, which we already have. So I just want to go over that, just some basics, keep it basic. Everybody talking about a short squeeze. I'm just following price. I'm not marrying the price. I'm just going in just to get out, wherever there's money, that's where I'm going to go, and that's what I'm doing, following the money. So as I was stating, let's just jump into a couple of the names I posted last night. I want to start with Apple. And automatically with Apple, I'm going into the daily. I'm not even going to go into any short time frames. We're just going straight into the daily. Disregard the levels you see here. I have Fibonacci time extensions and have retracements. These are actually, I don't like to take them off my chart. Like I said, with the whole crowded thing, every individual technical I have here. So you see these retracements, which is all the blue levels, right? That's my retracement, but that's more for my 2 hour, my lower time frames for my 2 hours and below. Then you see the yellow here. This is more for the longer time frames, bigger time frames, but it just shows the key levels for me. So I can get rid of this blue time frame right here. I can get rid of this blue technical here, my retracements, right? So we had an inverted hammer, right? We closed at 173.93. I posted yesterday for Apple. The price was 174.26 and below. Okay, we're about 40 cents above that right now for potential bounce. Overhead is 176.88. I would like to see it close below 174.26, targeting 173.77. So this can be an easy day to trade. So we're currently stuck in 176.88 for Apple, 173.79. We break 173.79, it opens us up down to 171.29. 930 is the next trigger. So the more we're stuck in the range, the bigger the move. Okay, so keep that in mind. It may happen today, it may happen Monday. As I said, we're going possibly inside day. So what I'll do is just mark above the opening of yesterday for Apple. 174.65. That's literally where we are right now pre-market. So if we reject here and come right back down, I wouldn't be surprised. Or we can just find support here at 174.65 and try to bounce to hit another rejection. So I'm going to duplicate that. I'm talking fast. I'm sorry I'm making this video as quick as possible. Right? I'm going to go in just to a smaller time frame for you guys. Let's go 2 hours. Everything looks more defined. You see, guys, when I go to 2 hour, my charts look much better. This is a rejection. You see this highlighted dotted red line. That's also rejection area. So if any bounce ever happens and occurs, it goes into this area, which we also have this gap at 181.56. I don't see that filling anytime soon, to be honest with you. But again, we got the lower Celt, which is showing 174.53. Okay, so let's see how that price reacts today. That I like that for a nice short. Above that, then we're targeting at 175.40. Next is going to be Tesla. I'm just going over the big names because everybody loves the big names, right? So Tesla's been a fun trade too. Can't go wrong with Tesla. Gotta love Tesla, right? News came out, jumped up to 275.15, one of my retracements areas at 80.9% retracement area at that, right? And then boom, what happens here? We are now currently stuck in 264.76, 252.65. Okay, so this is the range we are stuck in. We have a lower count. I'm just gonna, yeah, 2 hours. So we got the 259.09. Okay, keep that in mind. Let's make a level there. Boom, bang. There we go. Tesla, we still got that 10.423 to go into. So we have a week and some change to see what happens with that price action. As long as we stay below 264.76, you know what to do. Next up, we got CMG. I mean, one of my favorites. This thing is amazing. I love it. Everything has a time extension for me because I like price shifts. That's important to me. I like to know what's happening and when it's happening or before it's going to happen. And we have a big shift for 10-12 for CMG as well. Price also, and this whole shift from 8.13 to 10.12, that is 2-month shift. We get big swings in between these 2-month shifts. Just keep that in mind. Okay, we got a nice bounce off of that. What 1856.87 level, right? Got a hammer there. So what we're looking for, possibly 1883 for rejection. That's the lower cut. We'll get there by the same time. So as you see here, just want to show you guys, you see this lower cut here. I'm going to highlight that. It's 1889.24. That also, by the time price gaps up, that should push down to 1883, which is our level here for our retracement. CMG is a fun one. But if we go right into that open, that's an automatic fade. Another one, Amazon. Amazon, you know. Amazon, yikes. Got a gap. Amazon's up $1.30 pre-market. You can see I have everything labeled. I got 2020 double bottom, 143.70, right? That became a rejection area. Amazon, we have that 134.38. That is our lower cut. Make it simple. That also will start with a gap. That's basically into the gap automatically. But what I like to do is I like to mark all my gaps. So we're going to duplicate this level. We're going to drop it down here. That's 131.95. So the fact that we are open, if we do open up into this level here, I'm liking the 130 puts. I'm just making it simple, making it, you have time in your hands. We're stuck in two ranges. We have 143.70 and you have 130.14. Okay. So the fact that we're in between these, I like to do a retracement from the high to the low here. Keep it simple. Okay. I'm going to duplicate this level. I'm actually going to clean this up when I'm done. Oops. Give me a second. Activate. Here we go. And then I'm going to duplicate this one as well for the high. So this is your range here. Okay. If you want to do a channel and your channel basically marks everything you need, I do a channel like this from my low range to my high range. You can just have it like that. Or you can just, wherever it lines up to, everything lines up. As you can see, we can even get rid of those other levels too as well. Remove that. That level that I drew, like exactly where that channel lines up with that price level. So here you go. And if you want to mark these with actual price levels, you can do that as well. So this is Amazon going in today. Give you a daily visual for that as well. The fact that we got down under the lower cut, this is scary. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that lower cut is also a channel resistance. So that lower, yesterday's high was, let's go over that, 132.24. So again, it's going to be an inside day. I would love an inside down day. That would be awesome. Opening midway of this candle is also going to be fun. 130.14 is key level going into next week. So keep that in mind. Trying to make this as quick as possible. And of course, last but not least, I want to do QQ. There we go. Bing, bing, bing. Boom. It's your daily. QQ did the exact same thing that Amazon did in regards to gapping below the lower Celt. So what happens here? Like I tell people, everybody's like, okay, so QQ, you need at least what? 360.72 over to make this gap down invalid, right? For a continuation down. That's that 360.72 purple line. We have that gap at 362.64. That's for something else I had labeled. Then you have 364.59. Look at that. This is my retracements. A little bit different. They hit every single level. Okay. Just give you guys a visual on that. That's your daily. I have this gap here, but again, like I was telling you guys, this could be different versus last time. Let me just get this cleaned up for you guys. We had moves gap downs to where it just continued down. Perfect example. This was a gap down. This was 4-6 that I told you guys about. And what happened the next day, it bounced. And then it rejected. It bounced and it closed slightly above the middle Celt, and then it rejected, and then we just had a continuation down. That was last year. Now here, what is happening? We got below the lower Celt. Okay, let me get rid of these levels real quick. I don't need them right now. I already know my points, my places, and that 362.64 is the only thing I worry about here. So the fact that we gap down, I mean, do we really need to fill this gap? No, we do not. Why not? So how I treat gaps as I treat everything else. Look at this gap. So look, this is a gap down. Yes, everybody's talking about a gap fill. We don't have to fill the gap because actually there's been price action at this level. We just got below it. Okay, so there's no real significance into a gap here. So nothing as of importance. So just keep that in mind. That's your daily. I'm gonna drop down to the 2 hour. I look the daily and the 2 hour is what I look at when I want to just look at price action quick. I want to just see what's going on. I can go to the 1430 SMA during market hour open and that's it, but I don't need to do that at the moment. You can see here this gap down, and if you want this, sometimes I even do this. Just a quick retracement. Boom. And look what happens. 360.99. We are definitely stuck inside this range, and this is a 2 hour at that. Just keeping it simple for you guys. So another thing I like to do, and I tell my team members, and I always say this is when we're looking at pre-market, mark pre-market prices. Okay. So right now we closed at 357.86. Now we're trading at 359.34. Okay. So 359.34. Let's make a level for that. 359.34. That's honestly around this double bottom in a sense. So I'm going to use these two double bottoms here with these candles here, the first 2 hour candles from yesterday, right? That's 359.17. And then I'm going to duplicate this level and I'm going to actually go up to where their bodies meet. That's 359.74. So we're going to stay in between this price here because honestly, what happens if when we gap up, we're going to be stuck in this little range here. So I want to just make it as clean as possible. Just give you an easy visual. If you want, you can definitely mark the actual 359.32. So that would be right around, I'm trying to get it, 359.35 I put, but that's going down or whatever. So remove that drawing. And then when the market opens, I always go into my lower time frames. 15-minute is my to go to from opening markets. And then you can get an idea. See those levels I just drew? Now everything makes sense. There's a reason it becomes so easy with my levels is everything in all my charts line up. Okay. It doesn't matter what time frame it is. Everything lines up. So I just drew these levels and look what happened. It hit the 14 SMA at 359.74. And then we have what we're in between the middle Celt, 14 SMA and lower Celt. Now we're going to open up into that above that lower Celt. Okay, so we're gonna just see what happens here. I'm gonna leave that 359.17. Anything, as long as we stay below 359.74, more downside. We get above that, we have a vacuum to the 30 SMA, which is our yellow line right here. We can actually mark that as well, duplicate that. And this is the levels you can work with today. And just keeping it as simple as possible. Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in. I made this as brief and quick as possible. We got to get out of here. Love you all. And I will drop another video Sunday. Take care.